y'all. Welcome to Kaya's Corner. I'm your host, Kaya Supreme. Some of you may know me as Blake Crosby. Some of you may know me as Big Money Grip. Some of you may know me as Blizzy Gang, Blakington, Blake Arena, Blake is great, Blake Tastic, that girl over there, whatever. But all of those are the same people. And trust me, this is a story time segment, so we'll get into the story behind each one of those names. Because names are important. What you call yourself, what you know yourself to be, how you identify is extremely important for the goal setting and intentionality that one needs in order to excel and achieve their dreams. Okay. All these different names are me, same spirit, same person, just a different facet of who I am. Blake Crosby is my government name. Shout out to my mama for giving me the name Blake. That's her maiden name. Kaya Supreme is a name that I received during rites of passage, where I really went through my rebirth, where I started to learn about spiritual principles, where my healing journey began. I could go back almost 10, 11 years now. When I moved to Atlanta, man, it's some stories to tell. It's some stories to tell. But I have gone through and intentionally sought liberation and healing and a mindset shift because I always knew that I had a purpose and something that I was supposed to do in this lifetime. But there were so many distractions, so much hurt, pain, so many challenges that were roadblocks to me, and I just couldn't see my way out. But I stumbled upon a rites of passage organization, shout out to Nduga Nzinga, in Atlanta, Georgia, and that started and catapulted my journey through spirituality and gave me some really serious tools to be able to navigate this life, to be able to determine a code of conduct, to be able to strip away all the stories that were clouding my subconscious, that were hindering me, holding me back, self-sabotage, and put me in position to expand into other communities, okay, that taught me even more principle, taught me even more real life tangible practice of how to live well as a Black woman in a society. And it is my right, responsibility, and privilege and honor to pay it forward, to send out the messages and stories that I receive to hopefully transform anyone who's watching, anyone who's listening. Because when you tell the truth and you don't do it for attention, you make room for other people to tell their truth. And that's all that we really need to do. There's so much hush hush and secret and don't talk and appearances and all these things that hold no substance and that ultimately make us sick as a people. And so I'm just doing my part. So welcome to Kaya's Corner. All right, let's get into it. So I didn't become a life coach because I had it all together. You know, became a life coach because I had been broken and I had been rebuilt, and I saw the value in the process of transformation. I wanted to be able to contribute my part to the transformation of this world. It is your responsibility as a human being when you arrive here to find out what your purpose is, to align yourself with your purpose. And most times you can find your purpose through the things that you're naturally gifted in, as well as some of the challenges and traumas that you experience. See, all those things work together. But it's your responsibility to determine your purpose, align yourself with a healthy way of life to be able to enact that purpose, to be able to manifest that purpose, because that's your contribution to this world in your lane. Do you? Sometimes we just got to get the stuff out the way. And I want to be a part of that because I know people who were part of it for me and are still a part of it, my elders, my loved ones, my family, my community. It is an ongoing journey, right? It's an ongoing process. And that's how you know you're alive, because you're always working on something, learning, always seeing something new. And I just want to do my part. So welcome. So I'm going to always tell a story. Okay. Let me tell you about the time that I was in a car accident and the car flipped over 3 times. And this ain't gonna be your, run of the mill, like, I want you to know. I didn't know if I was gonna come today and tell the story about the accident that I caused or the accident that I was in. Because I need to check the statute of limitations on the accident that I caused. I need to make sure I'm not gonna put myself in a trick bag. But this particular story is what I think conveys uh, a piece of who I be, right? Because, we evolve. We don't lose any identity that we've ever had. It is still with us. The experiences are still with us. So I'm not about to walk around, okay, holier than thou, acting like I don't have a side of me that loves ratchet, that loves foolishness. Every now and then, you might see on my Instagram some total foolishness because I love to laugh. I love the extremes. I'm a daredevil. I love high energy, high impact. I love it all. I am learning the balance and the beauty of the softness. That's really where my liberation in this season has come from. In the softness, in the in between, not one or the other, but my spirit loves, I am ablaze 95% of the time. Intense, and I love intense things. Anything that smells good, tastes good, feels good. And I mean like real good. Okay. Y'all know what a hedonist is? Okay. Tap in, clock that. Anyway, so the night that I was in a car accident that flipped, a car that flipped over 3 times. All right, so picture it, Washington, D.C., 2011. Mm-hmm. I was living in Washington, D.C. with my daddy in my daddy's house. Going through, honey. But you know what? I'm always trying to find a way because at one time, yes, college dropout. And I dropped out because I got pregnant my first semester in college. That's another story. And stayed with my father, but I was just uneasy, of course, with my life because I wasn't producing anything. Depressed, had a miscarriage. So just kind of in the extremes of trying to get myself back together. I was going to hair school. I was going trying to get myself back into community college, and I was looking for opportunities to volunteer. I have always had a sense of wanting to give back. No matter where I am, I have wanted to give back. You're supposed to have your cup full though. Okay, we speaking that. But this is the journey. I reached out to my best friend's mother and also my second mom. Shout out to you, Mama Nona. She was working at a elementary school in Washington, D.C. And they had a mentorship program. And I was like, oh yeah, I want to do that. And I went in there and I met the students and I met the girls, specifically the young Black girls there. And I was just so like turned out, like this is great. Okay. Cause they was just raw with it, real with it. And I pitched a step team to leadership at the school. And I was like, I want to teach these girls how to step. I had started a step team in high school at a predominantly white high school, mind you. Clock that T, another story. And I started a step program at the school. But see, I didn't have the character to be able to sustain institution. No. I didn't have the character to be able to sustain the program because one thing about Kaya, dating and relationships are a very strong theme. Uh, I like the Saints. Okay, your girl has been outside in several seasons. Okay, I'm talking about just come home to change clothes, go but whole bag, huh? Whole bag at the door. Wash, scrub, shower, change outside. And who's picking me up today? That was, it was fun. I'm sorry, I had a good time. No judgment, no shame in my game. Okay, so because my character was not intact to be able to sustain community, I started dating one of the students' brothers. Okay. And mind you, we're in Southeast DC. He lived around there. I'ma just let that sizzle in your spirit. Okay. If you know, you know. And this man didn't have no car. I don't think I did either. Actually, I know I didn't because that's how I ended up in this car accident. I had no car. He ain't had no car. But you know, in DC, it's common not to drive. You can take the metro any and everywhere. So it really wasn't like I didn't get my license till I was like 22, 23 years old. Didn't get my first car till I was like 23. Look, I was one of the first Uberers. Okay, we had Uber in DC, Uber Black before the Saints had all this Lyft and come pick up. I was like, oh, and they also had like smart cars too. I had all the apps, Zip car, smart car. I was hustler, honey. Outside, I was gonna find a way. I was gonna be there. I was gonna be there. Oh, okay. So dating this guy, we ain't had no business dating because you should not be dating nobody when you don't have no real job and you don't have no car, you don't got nothing, you living at your parents' house. That's not the time to date. That's the time to build. Okay. A lot of the saints be trying to combine lives and don't have nothing to offer. No. So I went out and I had this friend at the time. She was my neighbor, and me and her used to just eat Northwest. We used to eat DC up. I'm talking about, you know, a lot of us judge women when they are clear about their sexuality, when they are not ashamed of their sexuality. And when a society where you have taught women that their sexuality is a tool to enhance their quality of life, when they use it, oh, it's a problem. I don't judge that. I don't judge that because I very much, and I'm not gonna say this was honorable, but I very much had been conditioned to eat these men up. That's just what I was taught. I had the benefit of always hanging out with girls who were older than me. And so I had experiences that made my life a lot of fun. Dangerous, dangerous, not healthy at all, but a lot of fun. Both things can exist in the same space and time. And so I was out, it was Halloween, and I was out with my homegirl, and we were making our rounds through Northwest DC because we could just literally any day and time wake up, we hitting the houses. Okay. Who has what for us today? How will we be spoiled and pampered today? Who is going to pay for what? You need your phone bill paid. That's them over there. And it was always like a two-man mission. We was always on a two-man. Okay. We were savage man eaters. And then no, it's not about sex, not about, giving up. Well, now we did, right? But it wasn't just all about that. It really was about, I felt like just powerful in that season in a particular kind of way. And so we were making our rounds. We was with this dude over here. We was over on around 640. I had no business. Girl, I'm from Silver Spring, Maryland. I had no business around 640. But I was outside because your girl likes the extremes. And the guy from my student's brother called me and was like, yeah, you trying to go out tonight? I would never turn down a move. I was like, yes, come pick me up. And so he came and picked me up, but he wasn't driving. He was in a passenger side seat. And his cousin was driving, and they were in a zip car. And we got in the car, and we went to Howard China. And if you know about Ho Chi, shout out to HU, you know. If you know Ho Chi, it's a famous, controversial carryout in Washington, D.C., and carryout culture is big in D.C. You could find a carryout before you could find a liquor store, and that's saying something. Because you could always find a liquor store. But get in a zip car, go to Howard China. They go and get their food, ask me, do I want something? Of course, feed me. And I'm sitting in the back seat to get in the car. Cousin starts to whip out the carryout off the street, Georgia Avenue. And cousin backs up because, in DC, everything's parallel parking. Everything is parallel parking. It's not a lot of pull in, pull out. It's get in there, get out of there. And he hits the car behind us because he just wasn't a great driver. He hits the car behind us. And when I tell you, I was like, oh, okay, I hope, I did that. I was like, I hope nobody has any warrants. I hope nobody has any warrants. Child. This man, skirt, hit the gas on the person that we hit. It was a minivan. I'm in the back seat. I turn around, I look, because I want to see what the hell's going on. And all I see is this angry, I think he may have been white or Asian, but overweight, white individual, male, and with glasses. And he is on the steering wheel like this, following us. And the driver goes, oh no, I got warrants. I can't get caught. And I'm like, what the fuck are we doing here? Blake, you just had to pop out, didn't you? And so as we're being pursued, which has now turned into a high-speed chase up Georgia Avenue, down my street that I lived on, Irving Street, and to Washington Hospital Center, this zip car with 3 Black folk in it is going 90 miles an hour. This minivan with this white man is going equally as fast. He is not letting up. And so the driver, Cuzzo, decides he needs to hit the corner. He decides he needs to bend and flip and all that. And of course, you can't really do that 90 miles an hour, and you're not a NASCAR driver. And the car flipped over 3 times. I'm in the back seat of the car holding on to the headrests, holding myself up. I will never forget it because time stood still. Okay. And these are the experiences that contribute to my clarity around God and spirituality. Because you don't know how many people transition due to car fatalities every day. Every day. But yet somehow this plus size Black woman is in the back seat, no seatbelt on, holding the headrest of either chair for dear life. as the car flips over, not once, not twice, but 3 times, and it lands right side up. And we all got out the car without a scratch and hit feet. Now, mind you, I just told you we rode down our street and now we at Washington Hospital Center. That means I can walk home. You think I went home? No, I didn't go home. No, I was high on the thrill. I was probably in shock. It was the police came. We was standing by, but they didn't know it was us. And it was like, I don't know, just wild. And I got on the bus with this man and rode all the way to Nanny Helen Barrels on the south side, northeast south side, and spent the night with him. And crept past my student's room to be with her brother. I did. And so it's like, okay, Blake, okay, Kaya, okay, girl, what's the lesson? What's the lesson? You know what? Because I'm clear that there is really no reason, no other reason that I'm still here other than to spread this message of self-love, of boundaries, of clarity of self, of sustainable living as a Black woman, of knowing and finding and getting clear of your purpose, healing your traumas so that you can do what you were sent here to do. This is one of them stories. This is one of them stories. This is a story where a Black girl was struggling with self-worth and self-esteem, misdirected by pop culture and the kids at school and all the things, and got confused about her beauty and her power, got confused about her purpose and what she was supposed to do in life, and put herself in a situation, and I mean many situations. This ain't the only story. I got plenty. Put herself in a situation where her life could have ended prematurely, where she had never seen what joy looks like, what power, real power looks like, what she would have never known God for herself. All because she wanted some attention, all because she wanted some validation, all because it didn't get infused in her reality at an early age. Right? And that's not to blame, my family or my parents or anything like we all do the best we can with what we have. But it is a known fact that we have to reconstruct the way we build up our children, reconstruct the way we pour into Black boys and Black girls. We have to do our job to make sure that they are better than we are, that they know who they are, that they can be free to emote as they need to, that they have tangible tools to be able to deal with conflict and the rites of passage of loss and death and grief. These are things we're all going to experience. You can't let these moments and situations take you out. There's a way that me having a miscarriage in college traumatized me. And I went from trying to get a degree to being out here in the streets in a car accident, in a hit and run accident. Damn near lost my life and still didn't have the wherewithal to preserve myself and go home. Right? And I thank God for protecting me. I thank God for covering me. I thank my ancestors for having their hands on me. That night, I know my grandmother was with me. I know somebody was holding my body in place as that car flipped over. It wasn't just me. I don't know anybody who has the strength, and I've always been a plus size girl. Okay, I've always been a plus size girl, and for me to hold myself still in a car like that, and for it to land right side up, completely smashed and totaled. The doors opened, and we got it. I mean, do you understand? See, you'll miss those things if you think that God is not real. You won't see the power and the value in all those variables. The same God who orchestrated this entire universe kept me that night and many other nights. And so it's my responsibility. It is my reciprocity to tell these stories in the hopes that the people listening start to understand the power that they hold within themselves and the importance of their purpose. And if it wasn't for these car accidents and this trauma and loss and grief, I wouldn't know the value of the sunshine, the joy, the spirituality, and the spiritual tools that I have today. It wouldn't hit. It wouldn't hit. So now today, when I wake up, right, and I'm mindful about where I spend my time, where I choose not to date or choose to date and have boundaries when I make decisions from a place of empowerment, it's a whole different world. I'm not walking around from hood to hood looking for who could take care of me, who could pour into me, who could make me feel like I'm a bad bitch today. I know I am because of what I've gone through, what I've overcome, what I've achieved. I've survived all kinds of essays, all kinds of assaults. I've survived addiction. I've survived obesity. I am surviving. I am fighting obesity, loss, grief, all these things that take people out. It don't make no sense either, because it's like, you definitely grew up. I grew up riding horses, going to summer camp, going on cruises. Okay, private school. Hmm. It's giving Nunu. It's giving you don't belong here, Blake. Yeah, but all these things happened together for a reason. All these ingredients came together to bake this cake, this Kai cake, so that you can have a piece. So I can have a piece, you can have a piece. So anyway, y'all, make sure you stay tuned for this Kaya's Corner segment. I will be answering questions. I'll be telling more stories. I hope to inspire. I intend to inspire. I intend to transform. I intend to liberate. Because there's a space for all of us. See, I'm not the kind of life coach that is not going to get in the mud with you. I'm not the kind of life coach that's not going to tell you the truth. I'm not the kind of life coach that can't hold your truth. I'm talking about the real. The real. Okay? Everything isn't peaches and cream. Everything hasn't been peaches and cream for everybody. People go through real stuff. It's the real stuff. It's the ugly stuff. It's stuff nobody wants to talk about. That's where the fruit is. That's where the change is. That's where the fulfillment of life is. And the thing that almost took you out, the thing that almost broke you, the thing that bit you, the thing that touched you and stained you for the rest of all those things, so that you can get clear. Because those things are not supposed to be you. They came your way. They left you. You've been changed. But have you been enhanced? All things work together for our good. All things. So, a few things coming up. You can expect to see me promoting my poetry again. I had been on a fitness journey for about 2 years now. Lost up close to 200 pounds. Close to 200 pounds. And whew, we're just gonna let that sit. But being a person who knows that you cannot split your energy too many different ways. You know, you can't be a jack of all trades. You must be intentional about what you do. I paused a whole lot of production. You did not see Black Oasis episodes. You did not necessarily see me performing poetry, because there was a way that I needed to lock in and reset a routine and reset a foundation. And I'm comfortable now that I am so in love and devoted to fitness, and so in love and devoted to this journey of wellness and learning and healing through PCOS. And even, trust me, I've had deaths and abusive relationships and all these things throughout this weight loss journey, okay? Throughout this fitness lifestyle. And I'm still holding. So I feel comfortable to be able to add something now, so we can start to make this well-rounded. I decide where my energy goes. I decide the reality that I want to create. And I'm absolutely walking in and stepping into my purpose. So you can expect to see poetry. You can expect to see my poetry book releasing next month, my first ebook. If you have not heard my poetry album, it is called Never Go Back. It came out in 2018. Shout out to Joe Stu for producing it. But we are revamping, restarting the things that feed me that I'm supposed to give away. My gifts for you. You can also expect the Purge Palace. What is the Purge Palace? The Purge Palace is a wellness event that'll take place monthly at this point in time. It might increase. Who knows? We'll see how things go. We're going to start with a month. Purge Palace monthly workshops for women, and actually will evolve and expand and open the doors to other people as things go on. But I want to really be specific and intentional about Black women. The Purge Palace is workshops that'll be taking place on a monthly basis with just different healing practitioners. Yours truly will be facilitating, hosting, teaching, offering life coach services. At the first Purge Palace, which will be the day before my 36th birthday, I will be releasing my ebook, and the people who attend the Purge Palace will get the opportunity to see that, have that, consume that first. It's called Black Oasis. So look out for the gifts. Look out for the meat and the bones and the gumbo and all the things that are supposed to feed and sustain you through me. If you have questions that you want answered, hit your girl up. Okay, nothing is off limits. I'll think about that. Some things may need to be off limits. We'll see. But I'm gonna do. I am pretty open, so Ask away. I got you. And make sure you check out the website, www.blackoasis.love. You will be able to see blog updates from me. You can also book my coaching services there. And you'll also know about any events that we have coming up. I am big on collaboration, big on collaboration. So if you are a Black woman, Black man in the healing or wellness space and you want to collab in any way, you want to combine forces, you want to give the people an experience that might just make them a little better than before they came in the door, hit your girl up. I am open. Collaboration is one of my cornerstones, okay? I know a lot of wellness practitioners, but I'm always open to know more. So thank you again for tuning into Kaya's Corner. We will be back with more wild, ridiculous stories, but all for the function of spiritual growth, healing, liberation, and transformation. I love y'all. Hope you have a great week.